There is no better place to start making yourself mindfully and intentionally visible than the moment you enter an organization, right? When you enter an organization, it can be that you enter at the level of specialist. You don't lead a team, you don't lead a project yet. So you enter a new environment and your brain is preset to be curious, to be expansive, to have a desire to meet new people. So your brain is preset on making yourself visible, right? Because you're the newbie, you're new in the court, so you need to engage with others. So you develop a sense of belonging. And I want to encourage you to leverage this. In future videos, we will talk about how to leverage this when you're a manager. But in this video, I want to talk about how you can make yourself visible and your voice heard when you are the specialist. So when you are a specialist, the reason your company is hiring you is because of your expertise. And this is ultimately the most important thing that you can do, to actually sit down and quantify the value that your expertise is producing for your organization. Because otherwise, here's what happens. We either don't talk about our values or about our value, or we talk about what we do, but in a kind of a boastful way that women hate. I have not met a woman who is emotionally healthy, who would be joyfully boastful. You know, I did this, look at me. So in order for us to avoid not speaking at all or speaking with this kind of boisterous, manner, we actually need to ground our communication into real data, into the real value of what we produce at work. And you know what's amazing? People are curious about that. They want to understand what you're dealing with in accounting, what you're dealing with in supply chain management, what you're dealing with in branding, what you're dealing with in, in sales. So people are naturally curious. They want to understand, and you carry the voice of that part of your organizational system. So why don't you give it a voice, right? Have a conversation with your team leader about what kind of opportunities are out there for you to speak more about what you do in your team and the value that you create on your own or with your team. Make a map of your communication channels so you can become visible. If you have an internal communication system like Yammer, go ahead, make yourself visible there. If not, you've got LinkedIn. How could you use LinkedIn to follow your company, interact with your company, bring in valuable industry leaders into your network, talk to them, communicate with them, inspire them with your posts, right? Write an article, an expert article. There are so many media outlets who are desperate for content, quality content. Go out there, create this type of content and bring it back. Share it with your colleagues. Turn your content creation experience into a learning experience for yourself and for others. Because here's what happens. When you do all these things and you become mindfully visible, you create a buffer upon which you can step and trample into your next career role, into becoming the project leader or the team leader. And there's one more thing I want to say before we round up this video, which is please, when you work remotely, do not let yourself diminished by the fact that, you don't have a good hair day, so you don't turn on your camera. Please do not let your potential stifled by the curse of multitasking, because that's why so many of us actually do not engage in meetings, do not turn on their cameras. We know that we multitask, and when we turn our cameras, we become visible. That is one bad, toxic habit that we have. And if that's what we want to do, if we want to do something else, we better not be in that meeting than be in a meeting and stay with our camera off, therefore invisible. So as often as you can, please choose visibility over invisibility, multitasking, operations, and impulsive, not thought through interventions and actions. Choose intentionality and a strategic approach that at the level where you are right now will create that buffer of visibility, of positive influence, of thought leadership that you can hold on to when you will want to ask for your next bonus, promotion, or opportunity in your career.